Lisa Martinez stared through the massive crystal window of the Galactic Space Council's headquarters on Centauri Prime. The three suns of the alien world cast strange shadows across the curved architecture of the building. She adjusted her diplomatic uniform and took a deep breath. Something felt wrong today. The council chamber buzzed with unusual activity. Representatives from over 200 alien species moved about in barely contained panic. Some floated in anti-gravity fields, others walked on multiple legs, and a few existed as pure energy forms contained in special suits. Lisa had gotten used to the variety over her 3 years as Earth's junior diplomat, but today felt different. "Diplomat Martinez, your presence is required in Chamber 3, a soft, mechanical voice announced. It was her AI assistant, embedded in her neural translator. As she walked toward the chamber, she noticed the Xenthor representatives gathering in unusually large numbers. The Xenthor, one of the oldest species in the galaxy, rarely showed up in groups larger than 2 or 3. Today, she counted 12 of their crystalline bodies floating near the entrance. Inside Chamber 3, the lights dimmed automatically. High Counselor Zyx of the Xenthor hovered at the center of the room, its crystalline body pulsing with concerned red light. 6 other council members sat or floated around the circular table, their expressions grim, or what passed for grim in their respective species. "Diplomat Martinez," Zyx spoke, its words translated perfectly into English in her mind. "We have called this emergency session regarding a matter of grave concern. Please, be seated." Lisa sat down, noting that she was the only human present. The air felt heavy with tension. A hologram appeared above the table, showing the Milky Way galaxy. Specific points of light began to glow bright red, and Lisa recognized them as human colony worlds and military installations. "In the past standard galactic year," Zyx continued, "human military advancement has exceeded all projected models. Your species has developed weapons technology at a pace that our predictive algorithms deemed impossible." The hologram shifted, displaying a human battleship. Lisa recognized it as one of the new Defender-class vessels. The ship slowly rotated, with specific sections highlighted in warning colors. "Your antimatter containment technology has advanced 500 years beyond our projected timeline," another council member, a gaseous being named Urkath, added. "The quantum warhead development program alone has progressed faster than any weapons research in recorded galactic history." Lisa kept her face neutral, though her heart raced. Earth's military advancement had always been fast. It was how humans had survived first contact and earned their place in the galactic community. But she hadn't realized how fast. "We have evidence," Zyx continued, "of testing sites in the Kuiper Belt. Weapons tests that our sensors cannot fully analyze. Technology that breaks several of our understood laws of physics." The Xenthor's crystalline body flickered with concerned purple light. "How is this possible, Diplomat Martinez?" Before Lisa could formulate a response, her neural translator pinged with an encrypted message from Earth. Commander Peter Wright of the Earth Defense Fleet had sent a priority alert. "Council gathering classified intel. Emergency meeting called on Earth. Stand by for instructions. Keep them talking." Lisa cleared her throat. "High Counselor, respected members, humanity's advancement comes from our unique approach to problem solving. A new hologram appeared, showing energy readings from Earth's Jupiter defense platform. The alien representatives shifted uncomfortably as the data scrolled past. "Your species," interrupted Vazen, a member of the militant Caxri species, "has developed more new weapons technology in the past 5 years than the Caxri developed in 5 centuries. This goes beyond mere problem-solving ability." Lisa watched as more data appeared. Weapons tests, shield frequencies, fleet movements. The Council had been watching everything. She thought quickly, remembering her diplomatic training while trying to buy time for Earth to respond. "What exactly," she asked carefully, "is the Council's concern?" "Earth is a recognized member of the galactic community. We have followed all treaties regarding weapons development." Zyx's crystalline form pulsed with deep blue light. a sign of attempted patience. The treaties specify limitations on known weapons technologies. Your species has created entirely new categories of weapons, categories we did not think possible when the treaties were written. Another encrypted message flashed in Lisa's mind. Admiral Kelly calling emergency session. Stall them. Earth Defense Command mobilizing diplomatic response. The hologram shifted again, showing a human research station near Neptune. Energy readings flashed beside it, most of them labeled unknown or analysis inconclusive in the Council's standard notation. We have detected energy signatures that suggest quantum manipulation on a scale that should not be possible for a species at your development level, Urkath stated, its gaseous form swirling with concern. The Council fears we may have made a mistake in allowing human military development to continue unchecked. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. In diplomatic language, that was practically a threat. She opened her mouth to respond, but Zyx raised an appendage for silence. We are declaring an emergency session of the full council, the High Counselor announced. All species must be informed of this development. Humanity's military advancement cannot continue at this pace. It destabilizes the entire balance of power in the galaxy. Through her neural translator, Lisa received a final encrypted message. This one made her blood run cold. Unknown alien fleet movements detected near Pluto. Defense fleet on yellow alert. Council may have already mobilized military assets. Proceed with extreme diplomatic caution. Lisa stood slowly, choosing her words with care. High Counselor, honored members, I must remind you that Earth is a sovereign member of this council. Any action taken without full deliberation and consultation would be a violation of galactic law. The room fell silent. The aliens stared at her with their various sensory organs. She had just reminded them of their own rules. Rules they had created long before humanity reached the stars. Of course, Zyx responded finally, its crystal body now pulsing with multiple colors, a sign of complex emotions. We will proceed according to protocol. But know this, Diplomat Martinez. The full council will convene in 3 standard days. Humanity's representatives must be prepared to explain these advancements and to accept whatever restrictions the council deems necessary. As Lisa left Chamber 3, she felt the weight of the situation pressing down on her. Humanity had always prided itself on its rapid advancement, its ability to innovate and adapt. But now, those very qualities had drawn the worried attention of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. She looked out through another crystal window, this time at the strange alien city stretching to the horizon. Somewhere out there, fleets might be moving, decisions might be being made, and humanity might soon have to choose between accepting alien restrictions or standing alone against the combined might of the Galactic Space Council. Her neural translator pinged one last time. Return to Earth immediately. Security escort standing by. The time for quiet diplomacy is over. Admiral Susan Kelly stood at the head of the circular table in Earth's Defense Command Center, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. The room was filled with tension as 20 of humanity's highest-ranking military and scientific leaders waited for her to speak. The holographic displays around them showed real-time movements of both human and alien ships throughout the solar system. The Galactic Council's concern about our military advancement is no longer just a diplomatic issue, she said, her voice firm. We have confirmed fleet movements near Pluto. They're trying to be subtle, but our quantum sensors can detect their presence. Carol Richardson, the head of Earth's Advanced Weapons Division, stepped forward. Her white lab coat stood out among the military uniforms. She waved her hand, and new holograms appeared above the table. In the past 5 years, Carol explained, human military technology has advanced at a rate 300% faster than any known species in the galaxy. We didn't fully realize this until we compared our progress to the Council's standard development models. She pointed to a graph showing an almost vertical line compared to several gently sloping ones. This is why they're scared. Commander Peter Wright, who had just returned from the outer defense perimeter, spoke up. My ships have detected unusual energy signatures. The Council races are powering up weapons systems they haven't used in centuries. The room fell silent as this information sank in. Humanity had always known they were different from the other species, but this was the first time they realized just how different they were. "Show them the Neptune footage," Admiral Kelly ordered. Carol nodded and changed the hologram. It showed a recent weapons test near Neptune. A small drone fired what looked like a normal missile, but when it detonated, it created a bubble of altered spacetime that simply erased a small asteroid from existence. "This is what scared them the most," Carol said. "We developed quantum deletion technology in 2 years. According to their records, it took the Xenthor 5,000 years to develop something similar, and they still can't make it as efficient as ours." The door slid open, and Lisa Martinez walked in, still wearing her diplomatic uniform from Centauri Prime. Her face showed the strain of her emergency flight back to Earth. "The Council is sending observers," she announced without preamble. "The Zarkax are leading the inspection team. They'll be here in less than 48 hours. Several military officers groaned. The Zarkax were known throughout the galaxy for their obsessive attention to detail and their inability to be deceived or distracted. "What are our options?" Admiral Kelly asked the room. General Eric Duncan, commander of Earth's ground forces, leaned forward. "We could show them exactly what they want to see. Let them inspect older facilities. Demonstrate some of our less advanced weapons. The Zarkax won't be fooled," Lisa interrupted. "They can detect energy signatures from technology, even when it's powered down. They'll know we're hiding things." Carol Richardson pulled up another hologram, this one showing Earth's defensive grid. Thousands of satellites and stations created an interlocking web of protection around the planet. "We could be completely honest," she suggested. "Show them everything. Make them understand that our advancement isn't a threat, but a natural part of who we are. Or it could confirm their worst fears," Commander Wright countered. "If they see our full capabilities, they might decide to act immediately rather than wait for diplomatic solutions." Admiral Kelly studied the various displays around the room. Each one showed a different aspect of humanity's military power: the fleet movements, the defense grid, the weapons research stations, the quantum shield generators. Everything that made Earth safe also made it terrifying to the other species. A warning light flashed on one of the displays. A junior officer quickly checked the readings. "Admiral," he called out, "we're detecting more fleet movements. 3 Xenthor battle groups just emerged from quantum space near Saturn. The Caxri are mobilizing near Mars. The Zarkax inspection fleet is ahead of schedule. They'll be here in 24 hours, not 48. Lisa Martinez stepped up to the main hologram and waved her hand, bringing up the Galactic Council's military doctrine. "There's something you all need to understand," she said. "In the Council's entire history, they've only declared a species to be a Class A threat twice. Both of those species were eventually forced to disarm or face destruction. And now they're considering declaring us a Class A threat," Admiral Kelly finished. "Because we've advanced too quickly, developed too many new weapons, become too powerful too fast." Carol Richardson manipulated the hologram again, showing their latest research projects. "We have technologies in development that even our most advanced allies don't know about. The quantum deletion weapon was just the beginning. We're working on things that the Council races haven't even dreamed of." "Like what?" General Duncan asked. "Like ships that can alter probability itself," Carol answered. "Weapons that don't just destroy matter, but rewrite its fundamental laws. Shields that don't just stop attacks, but prevent them from ever having been fired in the first place." The room fell silent again as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just caught up to the galactic community in military technology. They had surpassed many of them and were headed into completely unknown territory. Admiral Kelly walked slowly around the table, looking at each person in turn. "We have 24 hours before the Zarkax arrive," she said. "We need to decide. Do we hide our true capabilities and try to calm their fears, Or do we show them exactly what humanity is capable of and deal with the consequences? Before anyone could answer, another alarm sounded. The holographic display shifted to show a massive energy surge near Jupiter. A XN4 science vessel had just activated some kind of scanning beam more powerful than anything they'd seen before. "They're not waiting for the official inspection," Commander Wright said, checking the readings. "They're trying to scan our outer defense grid right now." "Admiral," Carol Richardson said urgently, "if they maintain that scan for another 3 minutes, they'll detect the quantum shield matrix. Once they see that..." She didn't need to finish. Everyone knew that the quantum shield matrix was perhaps humanity's greatest military secret, a defense system so advanced that most of Earth's own allies didn't know it existed. Admiral Kelly straightened her uniform and looked at the assembled leaders of Earth's defense forces. The next few minutes would determine whether humanity faced censure, sanctions, or perhaps even war with the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. "Signal the Jupiter defense platform," she ordered. "Tell them to power up the visible defense grid only. Let's show that Xenthor exactly what we want them to see. For now. But have the quantum fleet ready to move if needed. We're not going to start a war, but by all that's holy, we'll be ready if one comes to us." As the orders went out, Lisa Martinez stared at the holographic displays, showing the alien fleets moving into position around their solar system. In just 3 years as a diplomat, she had watched humanity go from a welcome member of the galactic community to a potential threat that needed to be contained. The question now was, would the Council accept humanity's rapid advancement, or would the next few days see the start of a conflict unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed? Major Kevin Phillips stood at the command center of Bastion Station, Earth's furthest military outpost near the edge of the solar system. Through the reinforced viewport, he could see the tiny dots of light that represented the Council's gathering fleet. In the past 12 hours, their numbers had doubled. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Amy Foster from her monitoring station, "we're receiving a priority transmission from the Galactic Council. They're demanding to broadcast to all human settlements simultaneously." Kevin straightened his uniform. "Put it through to Earth Command first. Let's not give them direct access to our communications network." The main screen flickered to life, showing the crystalline form of High Counselor Zyx floating in what appeared to be a massive chamber aboard the Council's flagship. The alien's body pulsed with stern colors of authority, deep purple and rigid blue patterns. "People of Earth," the alien's voice resonated through the translation system. "The Galactic Council has reached a decision regarding your species' unprecedented military advancement." Kevin watched as Admiral Kelly and other Earth leaders appeared in smaller screens, patched in from various command centers across human space. The atmosphere was tense. "Humanity's rate of weapons development has been deemed a critical threat to galactic stability," Zyx continued. "Therefore, the Council issues the following ultimatum. Earth must reduce its military capacity by 60% within the next 30 standard days." The command center fell silent. 60%. They wanted Earth to dismantle more than half of its defenses. Furthermore, the High Counselor added, "All quantum weapon research must cease immediately. All prototype weapons must be surrendered to Council custody. All military vessels above Class 3 must be decommissioned." On one of the smaller screens, Kevin saw Carol Richardson, head of Earth's Advanced Weapons Division, typing furiously on her datapad. She was probably calculating just how devastating these demands would be to Earth's security. Failure to comply. Zyx's crystal body pulsed with warning reds, will result in immediate sanctions. All trade with Council worlds will cease. All technological exchanges will be terminated. All human ships will be banned from Council space. And if we refuse both options... Admiral Kelly's voice was calm but firm. The alien's crystalline form shifted to a deep, threatening crimson. Then the Council will be forced to take more direct action to ensure galactic security. Just then, Kevin's tactical officer, Sarah Baker, rushed to his side with a datapad. "Sir," she whispered, "we're detecting energy buildups in the alien fleet. They're powering up weapons we've never seen before. Ancient tech, probably preserved from their old wars. Kevin nodded slightly, keeping his eyes on the main screen. The Council wasn't just making threats. They were ready to back them up with force if necessary. Meanwhile, at her research facility under the Antarctic ice, Dr. Patricia Anderson was about to make everything even more complicated. Her quantum shielding project had just achieved its first successful test. "Run it again," she ordered her team, watching as the experimental shield absorbed and redirected an energy blast that should have been impossible to stop. If her calculations were correct, this technology would make human defenses nearly invulnerable to conventional attacks. The problem was, it would also prove that humanity had advanced far beyond what the Council considered acceptable. Back at Bastion Station, Kevin received another urgent alert, this time from the station's deep space sensors. "Sir," Lieutenant Foster called out, "we're picking up more Council ships entering the system. But something's wrong. Some of these energy signatures don't match known Council vessels." Kevin enhanced the sensor readings on his screen and felt his blood run cold. They're not all Council ships, he realized. Some of them are mercenaries. The Council is bringing in hired guns to help enforce their ultimatum. On Earth, in the underground halls of the old United Nations building, former Marine Gregory Martinez was addressing a growing crowd of concerned citizens and military veterans. "They want us to give up our defenses," he shouted, his voice carrying through the historic chamber. "They want us to stand defenseless before a galaxy that fears us simply because we learned too quickly, advanced too fast." The crowd roared in agreement. Similar scenes were playing out across human space as news of the Council's ultimatum spread. "Humanity didn't ask to be different," Gregory continued. "We didn't choose to advance faster than other species. It's simply who we are. And now they want to punish us for our nature." In orbit above Earth, Carol Richardson was presenting her latest findings to the Defense Command. "The Council's demands would leave us virtually defenseless," she explained, pointing to various simulations. "Even if we kept our most advanced technologies secret, giving up 60% of our visible military strength would encourage every pirate and hostile species to target our colonies." Admiral Kelly studied the projections with a grim expression. "And if we reveal our latest advancements to prove we can defend ourselves, they'll see it as confirmation that we're too dangerous to leave unchecked," Carol finished. The situation grew even more tense when Major Phillips sent his next report from Bastion Station. "The Council ships are taking up strategic positions around our major colonies," he reported. "They're not even trying to hide their intentions anymore. This is a containment operation." Dr. Anderson's quantum shielding breakthrough couldn't have come at a worse time. As she prepared to submit her findings to Earth Command, she knew she was about to hand humanity both a powerful defense and a serious diplomatic problem. "The shield works by predicting attacks before they happen," she explained to her team. "It doesn't just stop weapons, it prevents them from being effective in the first place. No known species has achieved this level of quantum manipulation." As the day progressed, humanity faced a crucial decision. They could submit to the Council's demands and lose their ability to defend themselves effectively. They could refuse and face sanctions or worse. Or they could reveal their true technological capabilities and risk being labeled an even greater threat. Gregory Martinez's movement to withdraw from the Council entirely was gaining support. "Better to stand alone and strong," he argued, "than to kneel before those who fear our potential." Major Phillips watched from Bastion Station as more Council ships arrived hourly. The alien fleet was now larger than anything humanity had seen since first contact. "Sir," Lieutenant Foster reported, "we're detecting unusual energy readings from the Council fleet. They appear to be creating some kind of containment field around our solar system." "They're not waiting for our answer," Kevin realized. "They're already preparing to lock us in." As Earth's leaders debated their response, one thing became clear. The next few hours would determine humanity's place in the galaxy. Would they bow to the Council's demands and give up their rapid advancement? Or would they stand their ground and face the consequences of being different in a galaxy that feared change? The answer would shake the foundations of galactic society. Linda Thompson had been Earth's senior ambassador to the Galactic Council for 15 years. Now, standing in the grand negotiation chamber on Centauri Prime, she felt those years of experience being put to their greatest test. "The Council's demands are excessive," she said firmly, facing the assembled alien representatives. "Asking us to reduce our defense capabilities by 60% would leave our colonies vulnerable to pirates and hostile species." High Counselor Zykes' crystalline form pulsed with impatient colors. "Your species develops weapons that even the Council's oldest races barely understand. This cannot continue." Before Linda could respond, her neural translator buzzed with an urgent message. Captain Richard Cooper of the deep space vessel Intrepid had discovered something troubling near Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon. Back in the solar system, Richard stared at his ship's sensor readings with growing concern. "Run the scan again," he ordered his crew. "I want to be absolutely sure." Lieutenant Betty Morris nodded and repeated the scan. The results were the same. "Captain, these energy signatures are definitely from Council probe ships. They're using some kind of advanced scanning technology we've never seen before." Richard typed a quick message to Earth Command. Within minutes, Admiral Kelly was staring at the same readings from her command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. "They found it," she said quietly. "They found the Europa facility." The Europa Research Station had been humanity's best-kept secret. Hidden beneath the moon's thick ice, scientists there had been developing technologies that pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. Now the Council knew about it. Back in the negotiation chamber, Linda's neural translator lit up with urgent messages. The Council had found their secret facility. She kept her face neutral, but her heart raced as she watched High Counselor Zykes receive the same information. The crystalline alien's color shifted to a deep, angry red. "You have hidden a weapons research facility on Europa," Zykes announced to the chamber. "Even now, your species develops technologies beyond acceptable limits." The chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives from dozens of species began talking at once, their various universal translators creating a cacophony of worried voices. "The facility on Europa," Linda said carefully, "is a research station. We are not required by any treaty to disclose all of our scientific research locations." "Research?" a Caxry representative growled. "Our scans detect quantum manipulation devices, probability engines, and technology that breaks fundamental laws of physics." Meanwhile, aboard the Intrepid, Captain Richard Cooper detected more Council ships entering the solar system. These weren't just scout vessels anymore. They were capital ships, ancient warships that hadn't been seen in centuries. "Message from Earth Command," Lieutenant Morris announced. "All ships are to maintain current positions but power up defensive systems. No aggressive actions without direct orders." Richard watched his tactical display as more alien ships appeared. Some of them were massive, city-sized vessels that seemed to bend space around them. In the Antarctic Research Facility, Dr. Patricia Anderson received new orders from Admiral Kelly. "Accelerate the quantum shield testing." The message read, "We may need it sooner than expected." Patricia looked at her team of scientists. "No more breaks," she announced. "We work until it's ready." The diplomatic situation deteriorated further when the Council presented evidence of the Europa facility's projects. Linda Thompson watched as holographic displays showed partial scans of probability-altering devices, quantum weapons, and technologies that the Council races considered too dangerous to develop. "Humanity has violated the spirit, if not the letter, of our technological development treaties," a Zarkax observer stated. "This cannot be allowed to continue." Linda stood her ground. "Every technology we develop is for defensive purposes. Humanity has never acted aggressively toward any Council race." "Your very rate of advancement is aggressive," shouted a representative from a younger spacefaring race. "You achieve in decades what took us millennia." Back on Earth, Gregory Martinez's movement had grown from protest to potential revolution. Millions of humans across Earth and its colonies were demanding that their leaders stand up to the Council. They fear us because we're different, Gregory told a massive crowd in New York. They fear us because we don't fit their careful plans and schedules for technological advancement. Should we apologize for being who we are? No, the crowd roared back. Admiral Kelly received reports of similar gatherings on every human world and colony. The public wasn't afraid of the Council's threats. If anything, the ultimatum had awakened something in the human spirit, a determination not to be limited by others' fears. Captain Cooper's next report from the Intrepid added to the growing crisis. Admiral, he transmitted, we're detecting energy signatures we've never seen before. The Council ships are activating weapons that must be millions of years old, technology from their ancient wars. In the Council chamber, Linda Thompson made one last attempt at diplomacy. Honored representatives, she began, humanity understands your concerns. We are willing to discuss reasonable limitations and oversight. She was interrupted by new alarms. The Council's scan of Europa had gone deeper than expected. They had found evidence of Dr. Anderson's quantum shield project. This technology, High Counselor Zykes announced, its crystal body nearly white with shock, would make human defenses virtually impenetrable. Combined with your weapons development, it would make your species unstoppable. Finished the Caxary representative. The chamber fell silent. Linda knew this was the moment everything would change. The Council had just realized that humanity wasn't just advancing quickly. They were on the verge of becoming one of the most powerful species in the galaxy. The Council hereby declares an official emergency, Zykes announced, its voice echoing through the chamber. Humanity's unprecedented and destabilizing military evolution must be contained. All Council races are hereby authorized to take whatever actions necessary to prevent further human military advancement. Linda's neural translator buzzed with an urgent message from Admiral Kelly. Get out of there now. Council ships are moving into attack positions around our colonies. This is no longer a diplomatic situation. As Linda hurried from the chamber, she heard High Counselor Zykes giving orders to the assembled representatives. The Council was mobilizing for war, something they hadn't done in thousands of years. Aboard the Intrepid, Captain Cooper watched as the ancient alien warships began forming battle lines. Send word to Earth Command, he ordered. The Council isn't waiting for any more negotiations. They're preparing to force us to comply. In her Antarctic lab, Dr. Anderson's team finally achieved a stable quantum shield matrix. It works, she announced, watching as their test shield absorbed and nullified every weapon they fired at it. But if we deploy it, we prove their fears correct. Admiral Kelly finished from her command center. But if we don't? The choice was clear. Humanity could surrender its rapid advancement and accept the Council's restrictions, or they could stand their ground and face the combined might of the galaxy's oldest and most powerful civilizations. As the Council ships moved into position around Earth's colonies, humanity's leaders faced the most important decision in their species' history. The next few hours would determine whether they would bow to the galaxy's fears or prove that being different didn't mean being dangerous. The storm was about to break. Mary Duncan, Earth's chief strategic officer, stood in the Global Defense Center as alerts flashed across every screen. Council warships had crossed the outer boundary of the solar system. The moment of truth had arrived. All colonies report Council ships in attack position. Lieutenant Amy Foster announced from her station. They're charging weapons we've never seen before. Energy readings are off the charts. Mary nodded calmly. Activate Protocol Omega, she ordered. Let's show them what they're really dealing with. Across the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters powered up. A web of energy, invisible until now, began to spread between Earth's colonies. This was humanity's true defense network, far more advanced than anything they had shown the Council. Commander Douglas White's tactical fleet took up defensive positions around the colonies. His ships were smaller than the massive Council vessels, but they carried technologies that even Earth's allies didn't know existed. All ships, activate quantum shields, he ordered. But do not, I repeat, Do not power up weapons unless directly attacked. The Council fleet approached slowly, their ancient warships glowing with energies that hadn't been seen in millennia. High Counselor Zyx's voice boomed across all communication channels. "This is your final warning," the alien announced. "Deactivate your military systems and prepare for Council oversight, or we will be forced to take action." In the Antarctic Research Facility, Dr. Patricia Anderson worked frantically at her controls. The quantum shield network was responding better than expected, creating a defensive barrier that could rewrite the laws of physics themselves. Shield strength at 200% of projected capacity, she reported to command. The network is actually growing stronger as more nodes connect. Aboard the Council flagship, the alien leaders watched in confusion as their sensors tried to make sense of what was happening. Humanity's defensive system was like nothing they had ever encountered. "Impossible," a Zarkax observer muttered. "Their shield technology, it's not just blocking our scans, it's preventing them from ever having been made." That's when Mary Duncan made her move. She opened a channel to all Council ships and human colonies simultaneously. "Honored representatives of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice calm and clear. "You came here expecting to find a dangerous, out-of-control species that needed to be contained. Instead, let me show you what humanity really is." She nodded to her control team. Across the solar system, holographic displays appeared in front of every Council ship. They showed scenes from human history, not just their wars and weapons, but their achievements in medicine, their efforts to protect weaker species, their willingness to help other races recover from natural disasters. "Yes, we develop technology faster than other species," Mary continued. "Yes, our military advancement frightens you. But look at how we use that power." The displays showed human ships defending alien colonies from pirates, human doctors using advanced technology to cure diseases on other worlds, human scientists helping younger races clean up their polluted planets. On his ship, Commander White received an urgent message. Several younger spacefaring races, impressed by humanity's achievements and tired of the Council's restrictions, were breaking formation with the Council fleet. "We stand with humanity," announced the leader of the Nexeri, a species that had achieved spaceflight only a century ago. "They have shown us that rapid advancement does not have to mean destruction." Other young races followed suit. The Council's united front began to crack. "There's something else you should know," Mary Duncan announced to the assembled fleets. She nodded to Dr. Anderson, who activated the final phase of the quantum shield network. The shield didn't just protect human space. It extended its protection to every ship in the system, Council and human alike. It was a demonstration not of power, but of humanity's desire to protect all life. "Your scans of our Europa facility weren't complete," Mary explained. "You saw our weapons research, yes, but you missed the true purpose of our quantum technology. We weren't building better ways to destroy. We were building better ways to defend, not just ourselves, but anyone who needs protection." High Counselor Zyx's crystalline form shifted through a range of colors as the alien processed this information. The quantum shield network was beyond anything the Council races had achieved, yet humans were offering to share its protection. In the Council fleet, more ships began breaking formation. The Tilari, known for their logical analysis, spoke up. "The humans advance quickly not because they seek power, but because they seek solutions. We have been viewing their progress through the lens of our own ancient wars." Gregory Martinez, watching from Earth, saw the tide turning. The public gatherings across human space changed from angry protests to celebrations of unity. Humanity wasn't standing alone against the galaxy. They were showing the galaxy a new way forward. Commander White's tactical display showed more Council ships powering down their weapons. The ancient warships, awakened for the first time in millennia, began to retreat from their attack positions. Mary Duncan made one final address. "The Council fears that our rapid advancement will destabilize the galaxy. Instead, let us show you how it can unite us. We offer not just our protection, but our partnership. Let humanity's drive to innovate benefit all species. In the Council flagship, High Counselor Zyx conferred with the other ancient races. The Quantum Shield Network had proven that humanity's advancement was far beyond what they had imagined. They could either accept this new reality or start a war they weren't sure they could win. Finally, Zyx spoke. The Council recognizes that we may have misunderstood humanity's intentions. Perhaps it is time for the old powers to listen to new ideas. Dr. Anderson's team cheered as the Council ships began to withdraw. Their Quantum Shield project had helped prevent a war not by threatening destruction, but by demonstrating protection. Stand down to Condition Yellow. Commander White ordered his fleet, but maintain shield coverage of all ships in the system, Council, human, and independent alike. In the following days, a new framework for galactic security began to take shape. Humanity's rapid advancement wasn't restricted. Instead, it was channeled into projects that could benefit all species. The Quantum Shield Network became a model for cooperative defense. Linda Thompson, returning to her diplomatic post, helped draft new treaties that recognized humanity's unique nature while ensuring their innovations would be shared responsibly with other races. The younger spacefaring species, inspired by Earth's example, formed their own coalition to promote faster technological development. Mary Duncan stood at the same window where the crisis had begun, watching ships from dozens of species moving peacefully through human space. The Quantum Shield Network glimmered faintly in the background, a constant reminder that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons or their rate of advancement. Their greatest strength was in showing the galaxy that change didn't have to be feared. Progress didn't have to mean conflict, and being different didn't mean being dangerous. The galactic emergency was over. A new era of cooperation and innovation had begun, and humanity had proven that sometimes the best way to handle being feared as too powerful was to show how that power could protect and unite, rather than destroy and divide. As the sun set on Earth, humans and aliens alike looked toward a future where advancement was no longer feared, but celebrated. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what everyone needed.